Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So glad you're here. If this is your very first time here, my name is FiddlinJonny. This is my fiddle channel and magic product review. And before I do any magic product review, I always do a quick fiddle tune, and I like to make, when possible, the fiddle tune relevant to maybe what the title of the release is or from the person who's releasing it. And today I'm doing a review of Hotspot by Bic. Yes, the Bic. Bic has released his very first release through Alakazam Magic. And it is a penetration effect. Couldn't be more appropriate from Bic. Now, if you're not familiar with Bic, Bic is an international YouTube star who performs magic, gives his opinion, and just a classy guy all the way around. So I thought I would do a tune that just fits for him really well. And just thought about this maybe 10 seconds before I turned it on. So, and I've never played this tune ever before, but it's Madonna's Like a Virgin. Sit back and enjoy this very short snippet of my attempt to play Like a Virgin. Made it through the wilderness. I won't sing the rest of the song, but it's like a virgin touched for the very first time. Alright, stick around. I promise, no more singing, no more fiddle. We're gonna talk about Hotspot, released by Bic through Alakazam Magic. Like a bird. Oh, sorry, I can't get that song out of my head now. Sorry about that intro. Anyway, hey, just glad you're all here, and I really am excited to be talking about Hotspot, which was released through Alakazam Magic, and is Bic's very first release. Let's talk about, well, first we should talk about Bic. If you don't know who Bic is an international YouTube star focusing in on magic. Of course, that's what the ad copy says. But look, that's who he is. You should go check him out if you're not familiar with him. He is a very specific taste when it comes to magic. And I'm excited on this release because Bic, I'm so impressed that you decided to do a penetration effect. I think that is right up your alley. I appreciate that. I thought you might start with a really small Bic Lighter for your very first release that involves a penetration, but look at you, buddy. You're going with the bigger lighter for your very first penetration effect. I appreciate the aspirations that you have on that, so good job, Bic. All right, all kidding aside, that's for you, Bic. But for the rest of you, if you don't know what this effect is, it is a penetration effect, as I've stated. And penetration effects are not brand new. They're not earth-shattering. You're not getting something like, oh my God, this blows my mind. I've never seen this before. There's been many sort of coin penetration effects before. Probably the most classic is cigarette through coin, which is one of my literal all-time favorites. For many years, I used to do magic in bars between rock bands and would do magic, and I always did borrow somebody's cigarette and do a penetration with their cigarette through a coin. One of my all-time literal favorites to do. Always great reactions, and but no one can smoke in bars anymore, and fewer people smoke, and so I never ever perform it anymore, and I miss it because I enjoy the effect. So I'm always sort of keeping an eye out for what is a updated contemporary way of doing that, and Bic, nice job. This is a way to be able to still do a coin penetration effect that can be very sort of everyday carry with everyday objects that many people carry on them. So I really appreciate that effect. And this is, in essence, it's not in essence, it's exactly a coin, a US 50-cent piece will penetrate a Bic Lighter and go onto the Bic Lighter, and then you can go ahead and pull off the 50-cent piece from the Bic Lighter and hand it out to your spectator. You can also, when the penetration has occurred, you can show that the penetration on all sides of your lighter. So some penetrations with coins do not allow you to show all sides of the coin, and the nice thing about this one is that you can show it from all sides, no problem. There's nothing to hide. There's no sort of like flaps or springs that might break, that sort of stuff. It's straightforward and able to be right on there. So that is it. Maybe you've seen some demo. Maybe I'll put a demo at the very end of this if I haven't done it already. So stick around for that if I didn't put it in there already. So that's what the effect is. Let's talk about what is PigCake going to send to you. So in this very small package that PigCake has sent my way, thank you PigCake and Alakazam Magic, he has squeezed into this very small package a United States 50-cent piece. They're going to send you 50 cents. They're also going to send you the gimmick, okay, that I have on my lighter, and you're going to get access to a Vimeo tutorial. It's available through Vimeo, and I think if you have an account with Vimeo, you can download it from there, is my understanding. And it's 34 minutes in length, and it's taught by the creator, PigCake himself. So that's what you're getting. What is not included is the Bic Lighter. So you will need to have your own Bic Lighter, go out and purchase one and provide that for you. I suppose they can't really send lighters in the mail, maybe, I don't know. But and it is specific to a Bic Lighter, standard size Bic Lighter is what this is going to work for, because the gimmick is designed to fit specifically for the Bic standard size lighter. All right. Let's talk about how our instructions. I think the instructions are fine. I had zero problems with the instructions. In fact, the instructions or tutorial is 34 minutes in length. Normally I would say like, oh, that is way too short. Not with this. It's so simple, so straightforward that in 34 minutes I actually got maybe more than I need. I can say comfortably, I got more than I needed. But what I appreciated is that there's a couple elements here. Is that you're going to get live performances that are impromptu with real people, real audiences, with sort of variations on the theme, so you can see what it looks like in real life. PigCake is going to do the tutorial, and it is clear that PigCake is actually a good educator. I know he has a history of being a school teacher, I believe, at one point, and it comes through. He is really good, despite sort of like his persona and kind of a little bit crazy. He's a really good teacher in this tutorial. And he, I think, really thinks through what are all the different possible ways in which you could routine this style of penetration. And he's going to teach them all. And he takes ideas from multiple different folks. I think he sort of takes some ideas from David Williamson, some from Peter Turner, some from Chris James. And you're going to see all of those on there. And so if you don't like one way in which the penetration is done, you're going to get several more ways in which to do that over the course of the 34 minutes. So it's a pretty good in-depth tutorial in the amount of time that the tutorial is. So you get nice tight shots as well. I didn't have any issues with the instructions. All right, so we should talk about what I think is the most important part of this is the gimmick itself. So for starters, the gimmick is made by Roy Coopers. And if you don't know who Roy Coopers is probably one of the best folks on the planet who makes gaffed coins for magicians. So literally, there's a handful out there, and he is amongst some of the best in the world working with coins and making gaffed coins. So you're getting a good quality coin, gaffed coin. The coin will last forever. The coin is so good, With gift coins, oftentimes we worry about dropping them, because when we drop them, oftentimes we have to repair them ourselves, or they become inoperable, that sort of stuff. You can drop this a bazillion times and you'll never ever have an issue. It will work as good as the very first day that you open up your package. There's nothing on it to break, so I really like that. I do have one issue with the gimmick, and I want to avoid some people's frustrations, because I imagine many might have this issue, and that, like, how do you overcome it? So let me show you here. All right, so here's the gimmick, and it is on my lighter. One of the nice things is that you can show it all the way around, and you can show it from both sides, which is really nice. You can see also that it moves pretty easily up and down the Bic Lighter. However, when I get to the very end, it is a little tight. Now, when I first got this, getting it onto the lighter was a bit challenging. And the tutorial is taught that you put the gimmick on from this end. I have no problem getting it on this end, but this end is a little bit more challenging and it is a little tight. So for me, I tried a couple of different lighters, Bic lighters, and this Bic lighter that I happen to have lying around just worked the best and was the least tight, and I can get it on there. Once I get it further up sort of the shaft here of the Bic lighter, it's easy, but it definitely gets tight as I get to the end, and pulling it off of there can be a little bit challenging. So yeah, see there, that's a little challenging pulling it off, but there you are. Once off, then obviously you can then hand it out to your spectator. But I want folks to know that what I've done here is I've altered it a little bit. I've shaved it down just a smidge with a file, and that really helped for it to be able to better fit onto my lighter. I suppose if you wanted to, you could probably file a little bit your gimmicked coin if you wanted to get a better fit, but for me, I prefer messing with the Bic lighter more than anything else. Now, that's not a deal breaker, because let's face it, when you make a gimmick and you're doing it with a mass-produced product, there's going to be subtle differences in all of the lighters that are released. So despite that this is made specifically for Bic lighters, and specifically your standard size Bic lighter, it may be a little difficult in terms of your fit exactly. So buy a couple of different lighters, find the one that best suits for you. That's really the only problem I have with the gimmick. All the other stuff is solid and will outlive you, quite frankly. You can leave it to your kids if you have children, will it to whomever you want, because it will outlast all of us. I will say one subtlety is that the gimmick that I got and the coin that I got have two different dates on them, but no one ever notices that. So again, not really an issue. If you want it to match the date that's on your gimmick, you're gonna have to go out and find a 50-cent piece that matches the exact date, but the truth is I've never had that as an issue. So that all just comes down to sort of how you manage your crowd and whatnot. So anyway, that's I think all we probably need to talk about with the gimmick and the lighter. Talking about skill level, it is a beginner skill level. Honestly, there's not much more I can say. A beginner can do this and start performing it relatively quickly. There are certain things I think for the beginner that put some time into it. You'll find the more you practice in front of the mirror, the better you'll do. And my own advice is that I think one of the very first tutorials I ever got with a coin penetration was from Michael Amar, and it might be like 30 years ago, because I know it was on a VHS tape that I got. And he, on that tape, taught a coin penetration using a pencil. And it could be used the same as like a cigarette, but I remember him using a pencil in that penetration. My apologies, I don't remember what the name of that release is. But one of the things that he did that I really liked, and I strive on this one, is that the coin, as it is coming off of the cigarette or off of the pencil, that it never leaves the sight of your spectator. And just as it comes off, you're able to hand it to your spectator. There's maybe a hundredth of a second, sorry, where it is out of sight from your spectator, but it's so fast that they will believe that it never left their eyesight. So that's one of the things, as I practice this, I really work towards being able to hand the a ungimmick, do a switch to the standard 50-cent piece to my spectator right away if they'd like to. So anyway, some thoughts there on my own experience in doing a coin penetration. All right, I think I've mentioned all sort of like my pros and cons already, so I won't go into detail with that. But I will say that going back to skill level, there will be palming involved. So just know you'll learn that on there. Really easy to do, the most simple palm there is to do. All right, who's gonna like this? I think anyone who likes a good penetration effect. And we know Pig Cake loves and obsesses about penetration effects. So if that's the type of effect you like, you're gonna like this. If you're like me, who's been looking for something to replace your cigarette through a coin, for something that's a little bit more natural, everyday carry these days, this might be a good option for you. I think if you like close-up magic, this is great. For me, it's like at the end of the day, it can be, while I perform this at gigs and have used it at gigs, it is kind of a good everyday impromptu organic object type of effect that can be done close up. So that ticks off a lot of boxes for me and takes up very, very little pocket space. So those are all things that are important to me and things that I like about this release. All right, we should talk about the cost. In the United States, it is $39. Now, coin gaffs tend to be expensive. So, you know, it's not uncommon to find on the cheap end a coin gaff that starts at like $70 maybe, or up, $60 to $70, even higher. And every time a coin gaff comes out, I love them, but I feel like, oh, I gotta save my money before I can purchase that coin or that coin set. So $40 for this is really good in terms of from a cost. I wince a little bit like I do with any coin gaff cost. It's like, ugh, but you're getting it from somebody, Roy Cooper's, who is really one of the best on the planet when it comes to coin gaffs. So you're getting a good quality gaff, and at $39, it seems reasonable to me. Do I wish it was a little cheaper? Sure. But for coin gaffs, that's sort of what you can expect to pay. All right, I think that's it for Hotspot by Pig Cake, released through Alakazam Magic. Thank you, Alakazam and Pig Cake, for sending this my way so that I can review it for you. I really do appreciate it. And for me personally, I mean it when I say, like, I love coin penetration effects. I've been doing them my entire, almost my entire life, it feels like, and always looking for what's the most updated version of this, and this feels like a nice updated version. All right. Please leave a comment down below. Always love hearing from you. I try to respond as quickly as I can to your comments. I've been a little slow lately, been really busy. Also, if you have, please hit that like button and subscribe. It's really appreciated. If you have not yet subscribed, if you haven't, what are you waiting for? It's free. So anyway, thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. This is the week I would normally go to Magic Live. I'm not going to Magic Live. I did not register in time this year, so I did not get a ticket. So to all my buddies at Magic Live, hope you're having an awesome time. I do plan to go to Blackpool, so I'll see any of you who are going to Blackpool this year. All right, I'm FiddlinJonny, and remember to keep fiddling around with your magic. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.